you know that you're special, right? But you might not know just how special. Right now, inside every single one of your cells, there's an instruction manual so long, so incredibly detailed, that if we tried to read it out loud, it would take nearly a century. That's your DNA. But what if we did more than just read it? What if we took all that DNA from just one of your cells, carefully untangled it, and stretched it out all the way to the sun? First, let's get our cosmic tape measure. The sun is, on average, about 93 million miles away. That's 150 million kilometers. A staggering distance. Now, for the tiny part. If you were to unravel all the DNA from one single cell in your body, just one, and link all those molecules end to end, it would be about 2 meters long. 2 meters. That's taller than most people. Now, you have about 30 to 40 trillion cells. So, the total length of all your DNA, if we could somehow string every single bit of it together, is, well, it's a number so big it sounds silly. Let's do the math. 40 trillion cells, each with 2 meters of DNA. That's 80 trillion meters. Now, a quick conversion. 80 trillion meters is 80 billion kilometers. So, how many trips to the sun is that? The sun is 150 million kilometers away. Divide 80 billion by 150 million, and you get a little over 530. That's right. The DNA in your body right now is long enough to stretch to the sun and back. Not once, not twice, but over 260 times. But our scenario is about just one cell. So, we're only working with a mere 2-meter strand. How do we get that to the sun? Well, we need to make it longer. A lot longer. We need to amplify it, copy it, somehow create a chain that's 93 million miles long. So let's imagine we have a magical super science machine that can do just that, creating a single, unbroken thread of DNA stretching from your fingertips straight into the heart of our nearest star. Step 1. The thread itself. DNA is incredibly thin. We're talking about a width of just 2 nanometers. A nanometer is a billionth of a meter. So, this cosmic scale thread would be completely invisible to the naked eye. You wouldn't even see it. You just have to trust that it's there, which is the first problem with our experiment. You could easily lose it. A gentle breeze would probably snap it. But let's say it's perfectly stable. What would happen? Well, first, gravity. This thread has mass, even if it's incredibly small. It would be hanging from your hand, a 93-million-mile long weight. It would be like holding the world's most delicate fishing line with a star on the end. The tension would be immense, but because it's so thin, it would probably just sink. It would slice through the air, through the ground, like a hyper-sharp cheese wire, sinking into the earth until the force is balanced out. Not a great start. But let's ignore physics and just focus on the journey. Imagine we could see it glowing like a tiny biological fiber optic cable. How long would it take for a signal to travel down it? Not an electrical signal, but a physical one. If you gave the end of your hand a really good tug, that tug would travel down the DNA as a wave. This wave would move at the speed of sound through DNA, which is way faster than through air, but it's still not light speed. It would take weeks, maybe even months, for that tug to finally reach the solar surface. By the time the sun felt it, you'd have forgotten you even pulled it. And here's the climax, the big reveal. What happens when it actually reaches the sun? The surface of the sun is about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. DNA, as you might guess, is not a big fan of heat. It starts to break down, or denature, at temperatures your oven can reach. So, the moment our DNA thread touches the sun's corona, it wouldn't just melt. It would vaporize, instantly. The information encoded in it, the genes for your eye color, your height, your weird ability to wiggle your ears, would be obliterated in a flash of plasma. The thread would vanish from the sun backwards, like a fuse burning at an impossible speed, all the way back to Earth in a matter of minutes. But the truly mind-blowing part isn't the destruction. It's the sheer, ridiculous scale of what's inside you. You don't need a magic thread to the sun to be amazed. That 260 round-trip distance, that's packed inside you right now. You are literally walking around carrying a universe of information in every part of you. The real wonder isn't a hypothetical thread to a star. It's that the blueprint for a human being can be so astronomically long, yet folded so perfectly into something microscopic. So the next time you feel small, just remember, if we printed out the instructions inside you, you could use them to knit a scarf long enough to lasso the sun, more than a few hundred times over. What impossible scientific scenario should we unravel next? Let me know in the comments. And if your mind is feeling a little stretched, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more What If adventures. Thanks for watching.